Hello vinyl community, it's Mikko back again in the vinyl corner. This time I will show you my recent vinyl finds from August 2013, and this will also be sort of the vinyl corner's Finnish progressive rock edition, because I've bought mostly Finnish progressive rock lately, so I think at least Derek and Jonas will like some of my recent finds. So cheers VC. And what would be Finnish progressive rock without Love Records? So I bought this awesome Love Records book. It was written by Miska Rantanen and it's called Love Records 1966-1979, and it's called Tarina, taiteilija, tuotanto, which means something like the story, the artists and the discography. So there's 3 sections in this book. First tells the story of the famous Love Records record label, and the second part tells a short biography of each of their artists, and in the end there's also some very cool details about every single piece they ever released. Lots of cool pictures of the releases and very much interesting information. Love Records is one of my all-time favorite record labels, and without a doubt one of the most remarkable Finnish record labels. And who wouldn't love the Love Records logo? This book is highly recommended for every music fan, and especially the Love Records fan. Unfortunately, this is released only in Finnish, but this book only is a reason good enough to start learning Finnish. Then let's go on with the vinyl records. First and foremost, I bought Liisa Pien by Hector. As you can see, the cover is totally beat up. It's in horrible condition, but luckily I already got the outer sleeve. I got this from my mother-in-law, but the record itself and also the inner sleeve was missing, so I bought the album with that horrible cover, so I got the entire album now. Hector isn't actually so much progressive rock, but he's more of folk singer-songwriter. But this record is progressive rock without a doubt. What's funny thing is that according to the Love Records book, this is the first pressing from 1975 with quite rare black Love Records label here. And here's also the inner sleeve with some texts here. So back to the album. This is theme album, even though there's 3 cover songs here. That's very interesting because they fit perfectly in this album, even though they are covers. Hector is one of the most famous Finnish singer-songwriters, mostly known by his lyrics, and the lineup here is also pretty impressive, and I have to say that the King Crimson cover Epitaph is absolutely amazing, almost better than the original. So this record is highly recommended for all the progressive rock fans. There's some more Love Record stuff. Here's Pekka Streng, his first album Magneettimiehen kuolema from 1970. He made this with Tasavallan Presidentti. In the first original version there's no names in the cover, but this is the reissue from 2011. Pekka Streng was very mystical creature. He died in cancer when he was only 26 years old. He gave only one interview in his life. I think he was sort of Nick Drake of Finland. So maybe if you like Nick Drake, you might also like Pekka Streng. Who knows? And this is very interesting psychedelic stuff. And I think Derek might know this artist. And this is his second album from 1972, Kesämaa. And here he is. There's not so much pictures, photos from him, but here's one of them. And this is very interesting, kind of childish stuff, like this very interesting cover here. This is also reissue from 2011. Tasavallan Presidentti is probably one of the 2 most famous Finnish progressive rock bands. The other one is Wigwam, and this is their album Nuclear Nightclub from 1975. Absolutely amazing album with amazing cover artwork. I think this has much more commercial sound than their previous albums, but I think this is still progressive rock. I think this is one of the greatest Finnish albums of all time. Very good stuff. I think every progressive rock fans should have this record. And this is the reissue from 2010, if I remember correctly. Very good album, highly recommended. Then we'll continue with the greatest guitarist I've ever seen live, and he's of course Jukka Tolonen. This is his first solo album, Tolonen, from 1971. I think this is more jazz rock, fusion or something like that, more than progressive rock. But I'm very lousy with genres, so you should listen to this by yourself and decide what genre this is, but it's very hard to understand that he was only 19 years old when he made this album. Like I said, he's the greatest guitarist I've ever seen live, maybe even better than Tony Iommi, for example. Unfortunately, he had lots of problems with drugs and lots of problems in his life. He, for example, stabbed his girlfriend and went to jail, and unfortunately there he found his God, but he lost his ability to play guitar. So check this album out. Yeah. Then some more Jukka Tolonen. Here's Jukka Tolonen Band, Montreux Boogie, a live album from 1978. This is UK pressing. Very interesting stuff. Probably not my cup of tea so much. This is sort of jazz rock or fusion, but very awesome musicianship here. Then a couple of more records I bought in August. Here's Kassu Halonen and his first solo album from 1979 called Halonen. This is not progressive rock, but there's some amazing musicians here. Pekka Pohjola on bass, probably one of the greatest bass players ever. Vesa Aaltonen on drums, Juha Björninen on guitar, and Janne Louhivuori on guitar, for example. Amazing musicians, well known from their progressive rock music. Kassu Halonen is one of the best known Finnish popular music composers. He has made lots of music for many artists, and I think he has won something like 70 golden records or something like that. But he has also made lots of music for himself too. Interesting album and great musicians here. And what would be a month without my favorite Topi Sorsakoski? Here's Topi Sorsakoski with Reijo Taipale, Kulkukoirat. This is extremely hard to find on vinyl, and this was released in 1992, and this is so near mint than a record can be, so I'm very happy to have this in my collection. And last but not least, Topi Sorsakoski and Agents, their Maxi EP from 1986. Very hard to find on vinyl too. And with this, my Topi Sorsakoski collection is almost complete. I think I'm missing only their first Maxi EP from 1985. So let me know if you find it somewhere. I'm very lucky to have this one in my collection. This is also in great condition. So those were my vinyl finds in August 2013. Thanks for watching. Please leave a comment, especially if you have something to ask about Finnish progressive rock. I know I'm not a specialist or anything like that, but please leave a comment. Well, what's the great news is that Swart Records is going to reissue lots of the Love Records classics. Someone has said that the Swart Records is 21st century Love Records. I don't know about that, but it's very cool that they are going to release, for example, Wigwam and Tasavallan Presidentti and Tabula Rasa and Blues Section and lots of other interesting stuff. So check out Swart Records website to see what they are going to reissue soon. So thanks for watching. Until next time.